Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, She Says Happiness. I'm Mary Ellen and this is Sunday Sews, my catch up of what I've been doing since I last posted here on YouTube. So my last video was my pattern review of the chocolate notch fringe dress, which to be honest has become the mainstay of my sewing over the last couple of weeks. So as you all know by now, I have a 3-month-old and my wardrobe is currently fluctuating and shifting, so you know I'm obviously still not back to my pre-pregnancy size, and God knows if that will ever happen. And I'm also fluctuating because I'm breastfeeding, so my wardrobe has had to have a little bit of attention, and I discovered that the fringe dress basically answers all of my prayers because of the shape of it. It's a little bit loose, it has ties that give it a little cinched in feel. It's got the button downs, although there's also the notched version, but I always make the button down version, and I showed you 2 of them in my last video. In fact, I think I might have showed you 3 because there was the bonus of one that I made before I got pregnant, which I'm hoping one day to fit back into again. But I've made 2 more of those, so that's what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. Now I got most of the main sewing done quite quickly, but hemming and doing the buttonholes and sewing on the buttons has taken me forever, and in fact that only got finished last night. So I'll show you here. I haven't taken any pictures yet. Obviously I haven't worn them because they just got finished last night. So the 2 that I have made, there's one in this beautiful navy with metallic leaf double gauze, which is beautifully light and floaty and just perfect for my wardrobe. I'll just layer that up until the summer weather arrives. And the second one that I made then was in this lovely rose and double, I think that's what you call, yeah, I think that's what you call the brand, fabric, which I got in my So Hailey Jane box, and I love this one. I've used like the cutest little buttons on it as well, and I have these matching nicely. If you can see there's the red and there's the pink, and I just thought they were adorable, and also reminded me to stock up my button supply from the Swagman's daughter. If you love vintage haberdashery as much as I do recommend you check out Swagman's daughter. It is an absolute treasure trove. Just be warned, you'll spend at least an hour going through everything that is on there. So I did restock and got some more of these. I mean, these I've used so many times now, those little floral buttons, and I've added some blue ones as well. I believe I have clear ones somewhere in my stash. And I got little hearts, so I got little navy and little black hearts. I love all these little dainty buttons. And then I got these beautiful little floral, black, white and gold buttons as well. So I did behave myself. I only got the things that I knew I was going to use in the near future, although I could go wild and buy an awful lot more. But most of the buttons, if they're not pigeon wishes, that I purchase are all from Swagman's daughter, and I do love those vintage touches to my makes. So that's what I've been up to. I can't remember if in my last video or not I was showing you the little jumpers, tops that I was making for Henry. So Henry has now worn his 3-month one, so there's no point showing you that, but I'll put a little picture in for those of you who are curious to see him. I know some of you have been asking when you'll get to see him, and while I'm not bringing him onto video, I have a little picture that I'll pop in here so you can see just how adorable he is, in my very unbiased opinion. But yeah, I got his little sweaters finished for months 3 and months 4 from the little panel that I was showing you in one of my last videos. And so here is the month 4 sweater, which will come much sooner than I would like it to. So the pattern I use for all of the little sweaters that I'm making Henry is the Poppy and Jazz Strawberry sweater. There's no point going and buying another sweater pattern when this one works me perfectly fine. I love it. And the fit isn't too bad. It's a little big at the moment in the 3 to 6 range, especially in the arms. I think it fits everywhere pretty much except the arms. So we'll see how he gets on once he hits 4 months. It'll probably look a little tighter then because he is growing like a weed. In the background, you'll see there is another. So let me just bring you this one to show you this. This is super cute. So this is made just in a French terry. I should tell you where I got everything, shouldn't I? This little panel that I bought was from Caboodles, and all the other bits and pieces, my ribbing, my jersey, I always get from Jenny Stitches. Jenny has the most beautiful quality cotton jersey in a complete array of colours, so that's basically where I get all of that. This French terry is a beautiful one. This came from Minerva as part of the brand ambassador program, and I'll be writing up my little blog about that really soon once I get some pictures taken. So these are actually, you can see here in the background, there's another version. So I have a dress that matches this little sweater with this little motif on it. So these are iron-on transfers, which I purchased from Freya Illustrates. Really cute. It says together is a beautiful place to be, and these will be our Mother's Day outfits, which I thought was absolutely adorable. So yeah, again, the strawberry sweater, the nice cuffing and stuff is from Jenny, but the French terry is from Minerva. Any of these fabrics are available. I'll link in my description box below, which I've started to do. Just makes sense. And then I've made, as you can see here, a dress for myself, and this is my well-made, very familiar pattern. I've talked about it many times, so I won't talk about it too much today. This is the Colette Patterns Moneta dress, which sadly is no longer in stock, but I make this pattern very frequently, and it was this dress that got me through my maternity my maternity wardrobe. I would have been lost without it. So yeah, I've made that for myself, and I just think that's a beautiful neutral color. The fabric itself is absolutely gorgeous. It feels beautiful. It sews up an absolute dream, and that's what we want these days, isn't it? So that has been my sewing. That's what I'm up to. I don't really get a lot of time. In fact, the next thing I'm going to have to do is to forgo sewing opportunities entirely in favour of tidying up my sewing space, because it doesn't look too bad here, but this is like an eighth of the room. And I need to go through all of the different fabrics that have arrived, all of the haberdashery, the interfacings, the wadding, everything that is just currently sitting in little piles everywhere, and get them put away into other little cube storages around the place. So I'll have to do that, and that's going to be my priority. But what I have been working away at is my cross stitch project. So I always have a cross stitch project on the go. At the moment I currently have two. I have my birth sampler that I'm making for Henry, and I've kind of paused on it for a bit because I love it. It's just I've got to the really detailed parts, which is basically just little like 9x9 box squares the entire way around it. And it's a gorgeous design from the Historical Sampler Company. I'll share it with you when I'm done, which might be in a month or two. But yeah, I absolutely love it. It's just I switched over to this project, which is a Durene Jones design called Walk in the Park, and I'll link the magazine details down below because I forget the issue, etc., that it was in. It's just absolutely adorable. I'm going to make a little cushion from that, and as you can see, I'm nearly finished. So I just have a corner up here left to do, then all of the back stitching, and then I can stitch that up into a really cute little cushion, which will inevitably go into Henry's nursery, into his little reading corner. He's going to have a little reading nook because, you know, mummy librarian with a PhD in literature is not going to be neglectful of reading. So we'll just get that back together again, and I can take that and finish it later on this evening. I am sure I could get that wee dog stitched up and do the back stitching then during the week. And what else have I got to show you then? I have a couple of new fabrics. Again, this seems to be very balanced these days. There's always something for Henry and something for me, and I think I'm going to have to get to a point where I start making something for Simon again. I actually have gorgeous coating fabric, which I've intended to sew up into a jacket. It's just he keeps saying, oh, wait till I lose a little weight. Well, I've been waiting for several months, so I think I might just have to stitch that up. So let me show you what I've got. So the first one for Henry, basically a little selection. Don't judge me, it's been pre-washed. I haven't got around to ironing it yet. I usually don't do that anyhow until I'm going to stitch my project. So I'll show you first the little panel, which is adorable. So these fabrics have come from Fabricasa, who basically work on a pre-order basis and get things printed that way. So this is a little Highland cow, little farmer boy, and it's just a little panel, so that will make the front of a little sweater or t-shirt or whatever little pattern I decide to sew up. And to go with it, then I have the coordinating cotton jersey, which is just so cute with his little tractors and little Highland cow and his little overalls. Absolutely adorable. I might even make some little jersey dungarees with this fabric. That might be quite cute. And then of course the matching fabric to go with it to make its little cuffs and things. The next one is pretty special. I have a penchant for new craft house fabrics, which tend to be purchased and then get put away in here because they're so beautiful. I don't want to cut them. The same will probably be true of this for a little while. Firstly, when I get my figure back where I want it, which isn't, I'm not going to go on some drastic diet, by the way. I just need to give myself a few months to be back where I was before I got pregnant, that's all. But New Craft House posted their bi-weekly reel the other day with the fabrics that were going to be going up, and this one caught my eye. I do love Liberty Roses, and this is an absolutely beautiful cotton lawn which has been backed with plastic to waterproof it. So it's got this waterproof backing on there, and this is obviously crying out to become a raincoat. Now I believe that this was originally used as a lining fabric by Barber. I did my research. I like to find where these dead stock ex-designer fabrics are coming from, and I found it. If I saved the image, I'll show you it. I'll just go through my phone and see if the image is still there. But that's what that was used for. I'm going to use it, not going to use it as a lining, I'm going to use it on the outer and line it just with something else, something a bit plainer. But yeah, that's going to become a spring summer jacket, which I can just wear. Living in Ireland, waterproof is always a good option. So those are my fabrics. I do have a couple more that will be on the way. I did do a little shopping this week. And I've stocked up now basically for the spring summer months. That's not to say I won't get tempted now and again, but I do kind of have a collection that I need to work through. I've been sharing quite a lot of those with you recently, and I'd say there's maybe 25 fabrics there that are I want to sew with these. And I do have plans for them. I know what they'll be. Lots of them will be repeat patterns. Again, just adjust it slightly for my current size and for breastfeeding. So we'll see how we get on. But for the next few months, I don't think I'm going to need to buy very much, that's for sure, because I have been on a bit of a binge recently, and I think it's because I'm on my maternity leave and I'm at home a lot more than I ever was. I have free time, more of it than I ever had before. And not that it's free time, because if it was, I'd be sewing up a storm, I'd be baking up a storm. My house would be top to toe completely rearranged, cleaned. That's something I'm gonna have to do now that spring is coming. Everything will get changed around a lot. But no, it's not that I have free time, but I do have seated, able to look at my phone or be on my laptop time, which basically means shopping. So it's dangerous, and I don't think it's going to be like that much longer, because Henry is getting much more active. He's awake so much more. He is now pulling himself up and nearly sitting at 3 months. I'm kind of impressed, and hopefully he does develop in such a way for everything else, because he's incredible. But yeah, I don't think I'll be shopping much anymore. So that's where I'm at. The next thing I do think I really need to sit and work at is one of my Minerva projects. So a couple of months ago I got some soft shell fabric, again waterproof, which I am planning to make a Dorothy jacket from the Sew For It pattern line. And I've put it off and I've put it off and I've put it off, because again it just seemed like such an involved make. I haven't had the time for an involved make. I've been doing little bits here, little bits there, not tidying up after myself. So that's my priority. But then after that I think I'll maybe work on that a little bit more and sew up the cardigan that I've half cut out down on the cutting table. So I do have a a gorgeous, I think it's French terry, heart print fabric, which I'm going to sew up a true bias Marlo cardigan with. I know I should say sweater, but here it's a cardigan. Yeah, and that is the only easy thing I'm going to do, apart from little things for Henry, other than focus on my Dorothy jacket. So I'll keep you updated as to how I get on with that. I can't just abandon it because Minerva have sent me the fabric, so that's going to be the instigator to get it done. Otherwise I probably wouldn't bother, and I would just keep getting wet and using my umbrella and wearing several layers of cozies instead. But we'll see how we get on, and I'll check in and let you know. So thanks again for popping by my channel, and hopefully you're all having a great weekend. Tomorrow's Monday. Starts with a visit to the doctor's surgery for me for the vaccines, 12-week vaccine. So yay, that'll be fun. He's a little champion, he'll be fine. And then we'll see where the week takes us. I do have some social plans. So Henry is getting about. He's loving it. He's the biggest flirt imaginable. And yeah, I can't imagine where he gets it from. So that's it from me. Take care of yourselves, and I will be back soon to share with you whatever I'm getting up to. Catch you soon.